That's a great question, and it comes up quite a bit because I almost sometimes will use those words interchangeably, and depending on what we're talking about at the time, they sound very similar. The way I categorize the difference between a lead and a prospect is somebody who's just kind of looking. They're tire kickers, if you will. They're researching. They may not be ready to buy right now. And those folks can still be great. You want to get them on their list because if they're considering your business, there's a good chance that at some point down the road, they're willing to do business with you, but they're not quite ready to become a customer yet. And so that's when we look at leads. A lead is somebody that is ready to do business with somebody in your industry. And if you're able to engage with them and answer any of their questions, overcome their objections, you have the potential to turn them into a customer. So that's the biggest difference between a lead and a prospect. A prospect is like getting a name, right? There are many times that we engage with folks. Maybe it's at the store, we're waiting in line, we get talking, and you say, "Oh yeah, I'm a bookkeeper," and they're like, "Oh wow, really? Do you have a card?" Not necessarily a lead yet. They might be, but at this point we don't know that, and so we're going to put them in that prospect category because we need to do some more investigation. We need to have some more conversations with them. Maybe that's through email, maybe that's a phone call, maybe we set up some more time along those lines. Once we find out that they actually do need a bookkeeper, they just went from a prospect to, hey, let them know that we exist, to now all of a sudden there's the potential of earning their business. That's when they become a lead for us. And so by distinguishing those two, and it can be difficult because just because somebody visits your website doesn't necessarily mean that they're a lead. And if you go on websites and you're looking at online marketing, they're going to talk about every traffic is a lead, or they're going to talk about, okay, it depends on what you're doing. If you have an e-commerce site, well, sure, if they're shopping, their chances are high they are a lead for you. Most of us, we have websites and people land on it because they're reading our blog or they're just curious about our business. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a lead. They're just a prospect. But over time, if we engage with them and nurture that relationship, they can become that actual lead in which we can convert into a customer.